Hello everyone, I'm Karanjeet Singh.
And I am Ridhima. We are first year MBA students at IIT Mandi.
As we all know that the MBA interviews at IIT Mandi have already been scheduled and the students have been shortlisted. And I can totally understand you all must be really nervous right now.
Don't worry, we are asking some of our classmates about the interview questions they were asked at IIT Mandi interview.
Let's go.
Hi everyone, I'm Pankuni Shrivastava.
So, what were the questions that were asked to you during your interview?
Okay, so because I come from a mathematics background, they only asked me statistics questions, but those were a bit hard. One thing I would suggest is that they will grill you a lot. So they'll ask a lot of follow-up questions. Have a calm mind, be confident, and if you don't know the answer, just say, I'm not sure, can you ask something else?
What's that one advice you would give to the students who are preparing for the interview?
I would say brush up on whatever you have studied in your bachelor's. Also, if you have any work ex, make sure that you are aware of all the projects and everything about the company because they can ask anything according to your background. So, yeah, revision is important.
Was there any weird question that they asked you were not expecting it?
Yeah, I mean, they asked me very deep core statistics, which I wasn't expecting for a MBA degree. But it did catch me off guard, but I think overall it went fine.
Any funny question?
Um, Not really. I mean, they asked me uniform distribution, and of course, that's an easy question. I could answer that. But then he asked, "Oh, what is double uniform distribution?" I'm like, and then I got a bit confused. But I think, yeah.
Thank you.
Hi Abhishek.
Hi, hi.
So, what were the questions asked in your interview?
Mostly the questions were asked about my industry experience and in retail mainly. So they were asking about merchandising, SK units, and everything about that. And the other questions which were asked were about maths, mostly probability, matrices, and vector. Most of the time I didn't answer the questions of vector, but I was able to answer questions on matrix and probability. Even though the questions weren't that hard because it was all about dice and about cards in probability. And in matrix they were asking about what is symmetric matrix, what is diagonal matrix, and same questions about that. Nothing else. That's what they were asking, and follow-up questions regarding that.
So, what did they ask only the maths questions or something else like HR questions why you want to join IIT or something like that?
They didn't ask me any HR questions because I already told I'm from BBI, so my main aim is to go for an MBA. So most of the questions are about my apprenticeship I did in Tata Chroma in retail as a sales associate.
Thank you Abhishek.
So right now I have with me the legend of IIT Mandi, Swapnil Karmakar. So bro, tell me what was your interview like and what were the questions that were asked to you?
Generally speaking, my interview went smooth. So I could not answer one, two questions about matrices. So that was my only pain. But if you see apart from that, my interview was pretty well done. It was smooth, and the teachers were pretty good with me. They were supportive, and what the questions were mostly a bit mix of descriptive and concept based. Some required only a knowledge of definition, while others required a deep knowledge. For example, they asked me about a specific question about derivatives. They asked me what derivative was and how it is derived.
So, in question for questions you can expect generally from your domain, and it will also have some basics of other subjects like statistics and probability because this is a course on DS and AI. That's about it. So you'll have to have a basic understanding of all the subjects and also some deep understanding in your domain.
So, my question was what were the questions asked from you? From you. You don't have to tell them what you can study or what not. Just tell your questions. You don't have to put that, okay?
Uh, so the questions asked to me was what is your understanding on chi-square test and what is normal distribution, and there were some basic questions on marketing and all, marketing finance, and I'm a my background is finance, so there were also some questions on that also. Yeah.
So, only subject related questions or some HR questions as well?
Only subject related questions. The thing is, you have to make your self intro very good. so that you can drive the conversations towards that. That will take a lot of their time, and that's a cheat you can follow.
So, what advice would you like to give the upcoming students?
That's what you can have your self intro really strong, and it has to have something unique in it, so that they will ask more about it. If it's more of a general thing, then you'll have more of subjective questions. If not, you'll have questions about yourself which you can deliver in a much better way.
Thank you.
So now I'll make you guys meet my go-to person. Whenever I need any advice, I go to him. Let's go. Here he is. Hello, bro.
लिखो 9 8
Oh, bro.
तो मेरा इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस में मोस्टली अराउंड माई वर्क एक्स इन विच दे आस्क मी व्हाई डू यू वांट टू डू एन MBA एंड व्हाई IIT Mandi and how are you seeing your future after MBA and mostly some questions were around data analytics and data statistics like what is normal distribution mean median mode क्या होता है और बेसिकली इतनी टेंशन लेने की होती नहीं है इंटरव्यूज़ में जस्ट बी योर सेल्फ बी कॉन्फिडेंट एंड गुड लक
Bro, being yourself, does it really work?
या इट डज वर्क सी हाउ आई गॉट Karanjeet.
Hi, I'm Shivam Sagar from MBA first year of IIT Mandi School of Management. So when my interview started, they generally ask for the introduction, and I usually tend to divert it to my hobbies since I have like really creative hobbies. So I talked about my content creation journey, and I worked as a video editor before I came here. So I talked about that. I have over 100 million overall views, and I also talked about my gaming experiences. I used to play Call of Duty competitive, and I had like 316 rank among 30 million players. So I talked about that around 10 minutes. Then they diverted to the general questions of economics since I'm an economics graduate. They fiddled with it around 10 minutes. Then they asked me about my mathematics, so I clearly said that I'm not good at it, and the interviewer was laughing at me. But I thought it was better to be genuine and say what I know instead of just faking it.
Yeah.
So that was my overall experience.
And by the way, he also has an Instagram account with over 15,000 followers. Like how many followers?
It had around 21,000, but since I'm not posting regularly, so right now it has 15k, and I've started a new channel which covers the campus, which will grow with time.
Bro, was there any grilling in your interview?
It was really comfortable. They were not trying to kill me. Even if I didn't knew something, they did not make me feel bad about it. They were just smiling and laughing, so that was fine. Nothing.
Bro, thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Karthik, Karanjit's friend. So first of all, the only advice I will give you is just be yourself during the interview, because you are the only one who will lead the interview. They will ask you regarding your work ex, if not then regarding your academics. And the questions which were asked to me were regarding probability statistics. Some management questions were also there, and mainly as I have a work ex of 3 years, so mainly it was regarding my work experience.
So, like, were there any weird or funny questions that they asked you?
Actually, some serious panel was sitting in front of me, so there were no funny questions. And like you are the only one who will lead the interview, you know yourself better than anyone. So I'll just advise, just be yourself and give the best. All the best.
Okay, bro. Thank you.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Akshat, and currently I'm doing my MBA in DSN here. Their primarily focus was related to probability and stats, and apart from that, they asked me question related to management also. So that was the question they asked at that time.
Were there any unexpected questions that you were not expecting? कुछ ऐसा अलग सा पूछा, कुछ funny या कुछ?
No, it was more likely relevant to me because I do have work experience as well. So they asked me related to that. And apart from that, it was a good session overall. So yeah, I enjoyed it actually.
So guys, those who have work-ex, I think the interview is going to go, they'll be asking you more questions on your work-ex rather than academics.
Yes.
Thank you, bro. Okay.
Hi, Tanishka.
Hi Ridhima.
So, what were the questions asked from you in the interview?
Okay, so when we started the interview, the first question they asked from me was that what is your name and the meaning of your name. So I fortunately knew the meaning. Actually, my name is Tanishka and the meaning was goddess of gold. So they kind of asked that, okay, so they like simply asked the meaning of the name, and after that they grilled me over the knowledge of my course that I did in graduation, because I'm a fresher and I completed my graduation in economics honors. So yes, they asked me questions related to economics, many questions from statistics and other things.
Hi, Unati.
Hi Ridhima.
So, what were the questions asked from you in the interview?
So in the interview, they asked me why MBA and some questions related to my field, which was economic honors, and some basic math questions like linear algebra and matrix. That's all.
So, what advice would you like to give for the students who are preparing for any interview?
Oh, the advice that I'll give them is that do not take much pressure and just take it easy. And they will ask you questions related to your field of study only. So just chill out.
Thank you.
Okay, so the first for the first part, the ma'am asked me for the my introduction, the typical introduction where did I do my graduation and stuff like that, achievements as well as. So the second sir asked me the question like what did you do in the graduation? So I answered the chemistry honors. So my main questions and typical questions were asked in the mathematics parts of the chemistry, chemical parts as well, in physical chemistry as well in inorganic chemistry, like what is the mathematical basis for exponential regressions, the Schrodinger wave equations, the partial derivatives and the equations and stuffs, and the as well as the mathematics behind that, like what's the maths used, what are the like operators used in that, like Hamiltonian operators as well as energy partial derivatives, stuff like that.
So most of the questions were on maths.
Yeah, all on maths and in technical as well as in chemical terminologies.
So any advice for the people who are planning on coming, how they can prepare well for the interview?
So for the interview part, focus clearly on your goals, your technical expertise, your domain knowledge, as well as what you do what will you do in your MBA and how will it affect you in your future journeys. That's it for my part.
Okay, bro. Keep on topping.
Hi, this is Abhinav. I interview experiences of different from others since I am a working professional at that time. So people were asking about my working experience. So I have worked as a QA engineer. They asked about my QA working professional ethics. How do you handle the job? What task you are doing? What work is basically done? And extra stuff than that, and how much experience you have, and what you target in every month or something. How do you complete your task like that?
So most of the questions were related to your work ex.
Yes, and the next part of thing is like they asked me about some statistical questions like normal distribution, Poisson distribution, like continuous random variable, these things. And after that, they asked me about my hobbies. And my hobby, since I said chess, they asked me about questions based on chess. What is your ranking? How about you convert this ranking to a higher level, higher extent? And why? Since I left the chess after before a few days, so they asked me like, why did you leave the chess, and how do you improve after going to IIT Mandi? Since the questions were like this, and most probably it is about my working experience.
Any advice for the people who will be giving their interviews?
Yeah, I give one advice like if you are a working professional and you have about more than 2.5 of experience, you are most guaranteedly to get selected. That's the thing.
All right, bro. Thank you very much.
Thank you.